Sub 70 Golf has just come out with a 3D printed driver. The TA3 3D printed head has just hit the market, and it is 3D printed with carbon, titanium, and the same tech that is in their 859 driver. Today, I'm going to test both drivers. This is my current gamer, the 859. I'm going to test it against the TA3 3D printed head, and we are going to see whether this is just hype and a bit of a gimmick, or whether the tech of 3D printing really works. We're going to test with ProV1s, so we're going to hit 10 shots with each driver. We're going to get some data on a full swing kit launch monitor, and we're going to see which one comes on top. Let's get into it. Still can a bit. Oh, that's the pull. That's the one I don't want. Getting consistent, I think I know where all those golf balls are going to be. That's probably the best one I've hit. Ooh. Bit of a Johnny Wilkinson on that one, little drop kick. So that was 10 shots with my current gamer, which is the 859 Pro. I've been using this driver for probably the last 5 months or so. I love it. I love the shape of it. It's multi-material, and like I was saying earlier, it's got that weight in the toe, it's got that weight in the heel. So I can kind of play around more so with my shape bias. I can't really play around so much with the front and rear weighting because there isn't any, but it is quite a low spinning head nonetheless. Next lot is going to be with the 3D printed head. So just to go over some of the features of this 3D printed driver, we've got a one-piece printed body which enhances precision and eliminates welded face limitations. So that's talking about the 3D printed crown. 440cc, more of a player's profile, designed more so for workability, so for golfers who want to shape the ball. It's got the art face and weight design very much the same as the 859. Adjustable flight management system, so adjustable hosel. Let's give this drive a hit. So same thing, 10 golf balls, ProV1s, full swing kit. I'm definitely anticipating this one to spin a lot lower, and I'm definitely anticipating this one to launch a lot lower. And quite a unique feature, if you look at this here, there's no hosel. So actually when I put this in my current gamer, it does come out a little bit shorter, about half an inch shorter than the 859 would. Let's see how this one performs. Let's get into it. All right, so we're going same specs. And if we just take this front weight out, the rear weight's about 6 grams, this one's 25. So that's quite a heavy front weight for a driver. That's really gonna keep that CG quite low. Let's see how this one goes. Wow. This is extremely light. The head feels extremely light compared to the 859. Holy shit. Okay, this is pretty spicy just to start. Couple really good strikes. Feels hotter off the face. Oh, another good one. I've just pulled that a bit, it's not fading back as much. Far out. 282. Carry, that's stupid. Oh, it's another one. Far out. Definitely surprised me. I did not think it was going to be all that different to the 859. You can definitely see more carbon. More carbon in the crown, more carbon in the base of the driver head or the sole. So that's my first kind of real significant miss hit quite out of the heel, and that did curve quite a bit. Still pretty long. Yep, pipe that one. Ah. Very heely, but okay, we've just hit 10 with the 3D printed head. We've just hit 10 with the 859 Pro. Got the numbers here off the full swing. With the 3D, there were a couple hits that didn't record, which were a little frustrating because they were quite good hits, and a couple near the end were a little bit average. So we'll just see how this data's kind of played out. So in terms of average carry, the 859 Pro had an average carry of 244 meters. The 3D Tommy Armour the third, or the TA3, came in at 268 meters. So a fairly significant gain in distance between the two. If we look at total, the sub 70 859 Pro came out at 268. The 3D came out at 283. And that's meters. So that's a very significant difference. The 859 had 2,800 RPMs a spin. The 3D had 2,000 or just under 2,600 RPMs. So a bit of a drop down in spin. Ball speed, 859 came out at 166 miles per hour. The 3D came out 172. We go club head speed, bit of a difference. The sub 70 859 was 113 miles per hour. The 3D came out at 116. So probably the only other metric we might want to look at, smash factor, 1.47 with the 859, 1.48 with the 3D. This was quite interesting in terms of a test. I didn't expect this 3D printed driver to perform much better than the 859, for it to pretty much blow this driver out of the water. This has earned a spot in my bag straight away. I thought the 3D printing was actually more so of a gimmick, and it was going to perform much the same as the 859. This, and how it's performed, it's lighter, it is lower spinning, it is hotter off the face. There is a lot more carbon. This does feel quite a lot lighter, and thus I'm probably gaining a little bit of club head speed. In terms of off-center hits, it didn't feel terrible. Like an off-center hit out of the heel was all right. It faded much the same as the 859. I think what is interesting with your direct-to-consumer golfer, if I'm to rattle a few names off, if we think of Tacoma or Sub 70, great example, or other brands on the market like Powerbuilt, those brands will be looking more for a 3D printed option for their drivers to kind of fit in the market and lower costs with components. And this is what Sub 70 has done. I don't know whether it's a full-on release yet. A very small amount were released. I was lucky to get my hands on one. When this kind of fully hits the market, I think it's going to be a spectacular driver. If you want a driver that's lighter, lower spinning, or much the same as your OEM brands like TaylorMade and Ping, etc., this would be a good option. I don't know roughly where this fits price-wise on the market. Off the top of my head, it was retailing about $150 US. So I assume it'll be around that maybe $1,100, $1,200 Kiwi mark. So pretty awesome driver, quite a fun test. A 3D printed driver is not just the gimmick, it works. For more videos like this, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you again for some more.